حادثه تروریستی در نتنز.
A major explosion disabled parts of Iran's uranium enrichment facility at Natanz.
Iranian officials quick to point the finger at the Israeli government for what they're calling a cyber attack targeting their nuclear program. This is a facility where Iran does much of its uranium enrichment.
Every country is vulnerable to cyber attack, including Australia. And the Israelis and the United States lead the charge in improvising and initiating cyber attacks on Iran. Not just that, they're killing senior officers in the Iranian armed forces and nuclear physicists. Very provocative actions, and the Iranians, of course, are responding to that.
We have already announced more 1,000 centrifuges, and also we are going to do 60% enrichment.
Certainly there's been a history of cooperation between the United States and Israel in targeting Iranian nuclear facilities, particularly with the Stuxnet virus in years past, but we've also seen unilateral action by the Israelis against Iran.
Iran has never given up its quest for nuclear weapons and the missiles to deliver them.
Iran has in the past undertaken research with developing nuclear weapons, possibly in mind, but intelligence agencies largely agreed that program was ceased around 2003. All of these actions that Israel has taken in the past, and when they've done it with the United States as well, has been to disrupt Iran's potential nuclear capability and its potential to enrich uranium.
Now, it's not all that difficult to see how the process works. You take yellowcake, which is uranium oxide. You turn that into a gas, uranium hexafluoride. You put it in what is like a huge spin dryer, and you spin it around this gas. And because uranium-238, which is non-fissile, has a slightly heavier property than uranium-235, the 238 goes to the outside of this washing machine, and the uranium-235 stays in the center. In nature, 235, which is the fissile material, is only about less than 1% of the uranium oxide. So you've got to do a lot of spinning before you get it out. But once you get it out, then it can be turned into fissile material and used in an atom bomb. You need about 3 to 4% enriched uranium-235 to power a reactor. Up to 20%, it's still very low grade. You have to go to over 90% of enriched uranium-235 to make fissile material to explode in a bomb.
The concern was that about 90% enriched uranium is required for weapons-grade uranium stockpiles. And while they were never near 90%, the problem has always been, the breakout time. If you decided to go from your present level of enriched uranium, how long would it take you to get to 90%? And so then we're left with this idea of nuclear ambiguity. Iran says that it doesn't want to pursue a nuclear capability, but it makes moves that could be seen to be ambiguous. And that in itself lends itself a degree in their own minds of security protection when you look at other countries with undeclared nuclear capabilities that have made themselves immune from invasion.
When you say, does Iran have an incentive to go nuclear? Well, yes, they do. They're surrounded by nuclear countries, by Pakistan, by India, by China, by Russia, by the US 5th or 6th Fleet in the Persian Gulf, and by Israel. So there's plenty of logical arguments to be advanced for developing a nuclear weapons capability their own. And the more they're provoked by Israel and by the United States, the more the voices who want that capacity are coming forward. If it did, it would be disastrous. Saudi Arabia, no doubt, would go nuclear. I think probably the Emirates might as well. And we'd have a very destabilising situation.